Okay, hello and welcome back into Fable Fortune. Today we're gonna have a look at the Gravedigger deck. It's all gonna be about self-destruction, both destroying your own minions or just sacrificing them into our opponents. Oh, maybe we'll say it the other way around. You sacrifice them or you... Yeah. Anyway. So, strength of the Gravedigger, summoning many units, that's what we are going for. We're not going for resurrection. When they're dead, they're dead. But yeah, so the idea is to overwhelm your opponent with a lot of minions and just keep building big board after big board. Even if they can remove it, you keep building it up, and eventually you overwhelm them. They run out of stuff to deal with your board and you win the game. So it's a minion based deck, but it's not an aggressive deck. It's more on the controlling side, but we use minions more with certain spells to control the board. So for our trophy card, we're gonna go with chicken, because we can just play it down and sacrifice it if we want it. With sacrifice now, I'm gonna mean we're gonna destroy our own minion with another card, or we can use it, run it into something, kill it, and then activate the Eulogy keyword. And Eulogy requires a minion to die this turn. It doesn't have to be your minion, but the chicken is a good way to activate that. Or a hero power, but sometimes you want to use 0 mana. So the chicken is very useful for multiple purposes. Bank clerk, draw cards, and the cards we draw will get cheaper because we will be using our evil morality. Very useful card, even though it's not... it's just really good card draw card. We run the Bowerstone Bard because we're gonna have a lot of minions, so we like to buff them up. Getting +1/+1 can be really useful. I like the +1/+1 of cards that just give it attack, because that way maybe we can help them survive a little bit more, especially in the early game, and especially with the card we will see in a little bit. It's not something you play on 2 mana, of course, but it's a cheap, useful card to help overwhelm our opponents. Cemetery Baneman, we like sticky cards in this deck. 2 mana 1/2 isn't that great, but summons 2 1/1 Shamblers when it dies, so that's super useful. Very high value card and helps to keep the board big. Consume Life, this is only a one-of because it's not super useful, because it's only 3 or less strength. There's some like Cursed Warrior is really good. This is really good on Cursed Warrior, and it's really good on 3/6s and 3/7s, which you see sometime, that kind of stat line. It's not super common. Worst case scenario, maybe you just transform a Stinger in the early game to gain that so important tempo. Hunger for Knowledge, really good card. This is one of these self-destruction cards. Destroy a friendly unit and draw 2 cards. Really good for refilling your hand. Excellent card draw, since we, at the very worst, we do 4 mana to draw 2 cards with your hero power, which isn't great value, but that's sort of worst case scenario. A lot of the time you just have a 1/1 on the board you can sacrifice and draw 2 cards. Necroblade, another card that synergizes with our minions dying. Necroblast, not anything else. So deal 3 damage to a unit for 2 mana. That's good enough, almost on its own. Eulogy, which is when something has died this turn, not necessarily your minion, keep that in mind. You can kill one of your opponent's minion without your minion dying, and that will trigger Eulogy. And deal 2 to adjacent is really good if you do that, but don't be afraid to use this as 2 mana deal 3 damage. Absolutely fine. Okay, let's scroll down. Acolyte of Scorn. Another card draw, only a 1-of, because it's a bit situational. But it's okay to play this as a 3 mana 3/3 in some situations. Otherwise, you save this for later game, and maybe you hit a 1/1, you draw a card in late game to refill your hand, and you get the 3/3 on the board. It's good value. It's sort of situational, so you only run 1 copy. Rise, very good card, especially with Royal Officer, which we'll see later. It can be used as trading into stuff. It can be used as just playing and sacrificing one of them, and then maybe hit stuff with the other 2. It can be used as a finisher to get that extra burst damage at the end to kill your opponent, and it can be used sort of as single target removal and just to run into 1 minion, or AoE and run into a bunch of minions. Is very versatile. And we like that in cards. And it's really good. Truffle Hunter. 3 mana 2/2, summon a 1/1. Not super much value on the stats, but this goes really well in the deck. You get a Charger or a Rush, which can trigger Geology, or it's a 1/1 that can be sacrificed, or it can just help finish off a minion that needs be dealt 1 more damage or something, and you get to choose to body with it. And it's okay to play on turn 1 as well most of the time. So again, a versatile card that goes well with the other cards. We like that. Wasp Queen, 3 mana 2/4, pretty good stats. And the effect goes really well with this deck. After this unit survives, summon a 1/1 Wasp. Deals so much damage. It's not many things that deal 4 in the early game, so it's very likely to summon at least 1, sometimes 2 Wasps. And if it summons 1 Wasp, you get good value. If it summons 2 Wasp, you get great value. And again, another 1/1 that we can eat with the consume minions or cards. And this is really good to buff up with the Powerstone Bard, of course, so it becomes a 3/5. Cursed Warrior, another good sticky minion that you need to kill twice, and it also a really good card for target with our consume cards. Eating the 1/1 body, you get the consume effect, and you get a 4/4 after that. And we like to have minions on the board, so playing minions and stick on the board is really good. And they tend not to kill this one, so usually you can get really good value. You can often play this on 4, play a Tombstone Guardian on 5, sacrifice this on turn 5 because you usually don't kill it, and then play a Tombstone Guardian. We'll get to that card in a little bit. Wraith Marshalizer, one of the best tempo cards in the game, really good in this deck, even better in this deck than the most actually, because we have all these small, often we'll have big board present, so we can help clean up minions that this might not kill itself, maybe a 3 attack or a 4 attack. You can run a couple of 1/1s in and finish it off after this one does its job. Just a great card. Should go in every deck basically, no matter what deck you're playing. Ashes to Ashes, 5 mana, destroy a unit. We only run 1 copy because we're all about controlling the game with our minions, but a 1-off can be really useful and help you out in some difficult positions sometimes. Okay, next up. Crypt Ghoul, really good card. You can see here what it actually does. We're going to choose Evil, so the Evil morality for this is 5 mana 4/5, Destroy a friendly unit, so another consume mechanic. Gain +3/+3, so it's a 5 mana 7/8, almost always. And if in worst case scenario, if you don't, if you really have to, you can play it as a 4/5, but I wouldn't recommend it. Usually it's better to do other stuff than do that, but a 4/5 is not that bad a body. So sometimes that's what you have to do, but it's very rare. Often we'll just, at worst case, hero power and consume it. So that's 7 mana 7/8, that's okay value. Usually we'll have something left over on the board, or maybe an Arise, and we only need 2 of the Arise to kill stuff, and we have the 3rd one to consume, or something like that. Okay, and here's the Royal Officer, really good with the Rise, really good with any big board, and we try to have a lot of minions on board all the time. So this is a really good card. It's a good body too, and good effect. Especially good with the Rise, because that means if you have 8 mana, you can deal 6 to anything. And if you have 10 mana later in the game, you can deal 9 to everything with your hero power, just from your hand. Deal 10 damage from your hand with only 2 cards. That's a really good finisher, really good single target removal, really good AoE. It's good for everything. Tombstone Guardians, super powerful card, maybe the best card in the deck. 5 mana 2/5 doesn't look that great, but Eulogy, summon another Tombstone Guardian. And this is super easy to trigger, almost guaranteed on turn 5. And it's of course always almost always guaranteed on turn 7. And if it isn't guaranteed, the opponent doesn't have a minion on the board. You're probably doing alright if you can't trigger this on turn 7. I don't remember a game where I was stuck with this and couldn't trigger it in a good way. It's just super good. And we have one more card here. One of the Damned Legion. 6 mana 4/4 Eulogy. So that's when a minion dies. Gain +1/+1 for each unit that died this turn. And again, it's not just your units, it's any units. So this can be really big sometimes. So it can be super powerful at times, but it can also be kind of not great at times. You can sort of always make it a 6/6 or a 7/7 a lot of times, but they're not super impactful. So I think a 1-of is a good fit in this deck. Yeah, so that's the deck. That's the idea behind the deck. I think it's a really good deck. Have a lot of success with it. Yeah, let's see if we can find a game and see how things go. We can talk more about gameplay in game. That's much easier than discussing theoretical positions. It's much easier to go about the game and see what practical situation will arise in the game, and then we can discuss how to approach them with this deck and the hand we will have. Okay, so we got a game. You wanna go with this quest to begin with? Maybe later we go with guard, but that's the idea in the early game. We don't want Damned Legion in the opening here. We do want slicers. This is probably going to be as useful in the early game as anything. Since we have this one, I'm going to keep this, because it's going to spawn a bunch of 1/1s, so maybe we can eat something. And it goes toward the quest. We already have 3 cards towards the quest. And we go second, so we actually have 4 cards towards the quest already. See, his name is bugged, so I have no idea who we're playing here. Okay, probably some aggro deck then. Just hit me in the face. That's good. Now we can maybe... in case he's a rusher, and he seems to be aggro, so I'm gonna stop him. We can buff this, so maybe we buff this in hero power next turn, or we can play the Scorm. So I'm probably gonna hit that. Pop the 1/1s. Hit 1/1 with Scorm, draw a card, and taunt up the Scorm. Then he has a 3/3, and we have a 3/3 with guard, so he has to hit into it, and we'll have 1/1 left. Alternatively, I could Slicer and use the chicken here. Slicer and chicken might be better actually. Oh, we have Tomb's Guardian now. But we will have 2 1/1s and a 4/2 on the board for the Guardians next time, so I think we might be able to sacrifice a chicken here. I think that's the best play. And these are bagged, so I'm gonna hit with this first, because when I play the chicken they will unscramble, but they will scramble now. One will spawn over the 4/2. I think it's safe to say it's unlikely he will clear this board. So it's super likely we'll have 2 5/5s next turn. Need one more to activate the ghoul. Gonna do it with this one probably. Okay, now we have to change our play. We wanna transform that of course. But that's okay, that means we can activate our quest this turn. I think I'll sacrifice a 1/1 rather than keeping everything alive. Nah, maybe I shouldn't. That's stupid. I shouldn't sacrifice a 1/1. It's okay. A 2/1 and a 1/1 is better than a 2/2, I think actually. I'm gonna go with evil because we play a bunch of small minions. We don't benefit that much from reducing strength. We'd rather have a 2/1. And we have a big board, so often enough it's gonna be 2/1s. Yeah. I thought one more time about hitting with a 1/1, but yeah, this is better. Oops. If it does have a rusher, it have 1 health, so I'll protect it. I shall protect it with the 1/1, I think. No, 2/1 is better because now we can't rend it. So now we have both Tombstone Guardians and Crypt Ghoul as a possible play next turn. Kill the 4/2. No, he's gonna kill the 1/2. What? Okay, it seems this player is not. He might be a beginner, but that's alright. I still get to talk about the deck, and so let's review our hand. 1, 2. So we only have 2 of these. I think guard is gonna be more likely to finish. I can still talk about the positions that arise and how to deal with them. Okay. 6 mana. So we're gonna use guard somehow this turn. I'll take the 2 value tracers, so to speak. And yeah, I'm gonna play the ghoul here. because we have a good minions to consume this turn, is in this one, and not sure what we're gonna go on next turn. I'd rather get the big minion on board here. Create more pressure in the 2/2/5s. Since we already have board control, I don't need to play. I'd rather play the big guy than the 2 small ones, and I'll give him guard to go towards the quest. We have one card drawn in hand that can be useful. Let's see what he plays. I could play Cursed Warrior into Acolyte of Scorn and pop it to 4/4 and hey, he went evil, so he will heal himself. Okay, surprised he didn't kill 2/1 instead. I think we go Tombside Guardian actually here, and just Hero Power maybe. I'm probably just gonna guard actually. Hero Power deal 1 is okay, but cards take us closer to the next tier here. I think it's better to getting 1 damage in here won't matter that much. I think it's more important to get closer to finishing the quest. And I'll protect this one in case he has deal 4 to everything. That's the AoE we need to play around against this class. 7 mana, 4 damage everything. So all our guys being at 5 is pretty good. Yeah. Now we couldn't do anything more than this turn, so that's fine. Might have another. So 8 mana. I think we play the Cursed Warrior, and I'll sacrifice out to 1 instead of the. I could sacrifice the 1 when I get the 4/4, but then we are much weaker to AoE. So I'll sacrifice the 2/1 and keep the other one as a 1/1. We'll see what we draw first. Okay, Arise. We're getting some finisher cards in there. I'll give this stones. Protector 1 health minions. 7 mana, deal 4 damage. Oh. Damn it. Okay, so it seems the game bugged out on us. Okay, but you get the point of the deck, and we got to see a pretty deep into the game. I mean, this game is gonna be won because the only way he can come back right now is AoE again. Well, he can combat this board, is AoE again. Like, click retire so you can see the minions. Then I will spawn a 4/4, and I have 2 of these. And have this to deal a lot of damage, and have a hero power to, so he will be 4, 8. He will be dead in like 2 turns, almost whatever he does, and he has a small hand. So, yeah, that's the gist of the deck and how to play it. I hope you get an idea, even though we didn't get to see the actual last 2 turns of the game, since the servers went down. Or, well, we got disconnected. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you can have some success with this deck. Okay, here we go. Got a game. So we want to go with this first every time. A lot of times we go with guard for the second one. This is good to keep. This is good. This isn't great in the opening hand. Gonna keep this since we have the pig. We could have 8 the pig maybe on turn 2 if he doesn't do anything to draw a card and get that bigger body on the board. I'm still gonna play this to be mana efficient. Next time we can play this in hero power. Depending on what it does. We might play the Scorm. Or we might play the Slicer. There's a lot of things we can do here. Okay, so we're gonna Scorm. No, Slicer. Lost Queen, that's a good. We have 2 cards we can play next turn too. Also good to try and be mana efficient in any deck, but in this even more so. You don't see a lot of merchants on the deck here, on the ladder. Let's see what he has in store for us. In general, I think we should do pretty well against merchants. Especially if we can get early board control. He has gained a coin. He's probably gonna play a big guy soon. We don't have any great way to deal with it just now, but we can always stall by just taunting up a small guy and make him hit that. I think I'm gonna hero power Scorm if he doesn't do anything more. And just get coins. Well, actually, we do have this coming up. I think I'm gonna activate the hero power here. Just playing these bunch of minions here. And these 2 are weak to a lot of damage either. So we're going with evil. As you see, we have 2 health, 1 health, 2 health, 2 health, 4 health. So we're not very, we don't gain much extra from having our opponent's minions lose strength. And we do have a lot of minions on board a lot of times, so we'll summon 2/1s quite frequently. This might be what did he silence? The Wasp Queen? Okay. I guess that's pretty good. And coin, give it guard, I suppose. If he doesn't coin, give it guard, he is misplaying for sure. 8, 10 plus 5, 15. Yeah, coin, give it guard is definitely what he should do. A 1, 2, 3. We have 3 already in hand, so I'll take this one. Even though I'm probably gonna give guard or something this turn. Oh, that's good. We can play the Royal Queen. And then we have a rise next turn. Okay, so how do we deal 9 with this board? So 5 to 2. I think is the best. We're gonna wanna play a rise. Maybe I actually wanna do 3, 3, 2. Oh, that's one too few. We need 9, right? 5, 2, 2, I guess. Okay. Well, 3. I'm gonna keep this one actually. Okay. Let's see if we can deal with this one more time. And you have a rise to use next turn for 6 damage and the hero power for 10. Since that will spawn 3, 1. And this will be 2 ones. So 6 on the rise and plus 3. So that's a 9. Nothing else. Not 10. 9. But still good. And we could maybe draw a card with Acolyte too. Okay. I think I'm just gonna erase that. But I need to do a rise before I do Bank Clerk because we don't have enough room on the board. So this is typical how you control the board with this deck. You use your minions. Try and still stay on the board. Well, I guess I could have played it after the first one. I'm gonna play it now. See what we get. Oh, ashes to ashes. Gonna be useful next turn. So I actually missed lethal there, I'm gonna admit it. If I would have drawn the played the clerk on the first go, I would have the extra 2 damage to face here. But it's okay. I think I'm gonna win anyways. But that was a misplay. Always draw as early as you can, and they conceded. Okay. So that's another good example of how the deck works. So that's two games. It's some pretty good results. Yeah, this deck has been functioning really well, and it can take some practice to get used to how to make good trades and how to use which card when to sacrifice what and so, but it's a really fun deck to play, and it's a really powerful deck, I think. Maybe not the best deck in the game, but you can definitely do really well on ladder with this deck, in my experience. Okay. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you later.